Bring Roisin up onto the stage for me to have a few chat with. It's your spot, Roisin. Roisin, welcome. Now, I hope I got that right, haven't I? I've called you Roisin and Roisin and all sorts of stuff, but it's Roisin.
Roisin, that's it, yeah.
And it's very Irish, I guess.
Sorry.
Okay. Roisin, you're representing Auckland here tonight, but your pedigree is very, very Irish, but you were born in New Zealand.
Yep, I was born in Auckland and I lived there for 6 years, till I was 6, and then we moved to Australia and then to Ireland, where I've been living up until last year in Belfast. That's where I get this bright Kiwi accent from.
Yeah, absolutely. I haven't found that Kiwi accent yet, but I guess it's buried underneath that Irish brogue. Now, your family's still there in Ireland, mum and dad?
Yeah, mummy and daddy's still in Belfast, but I think they're planning on relocating back here again, probably for about the 3rd time in their life.
Well, I guess they're probably looking forward to catching up with you in August when you get over there.
I don't know now.
I'm sure.
They're coming
anyway.
over at Christmas time, so I'm going over to see them in Perth at Christmas, which will be good.
Wonderful. Now, you describe yourself as being an OT. I guess that stands for occupational therapist.
Occupational therapist, yeah. I graduated in occupational therapy last year in June in the University of Jordanstown in Belfast. I would love to specialise in mental health, but I'm just waiting on my occupational therapy, the New Zealand version of it to come through so that I can register over here so that I can practice. So hopefully that'll happen in the next 2 months, and then I can get the ball rolling and be an occupational therapist in New Zealand.
Hey, but you're actually working in an Irish bar in Auckland, O'Hagan's, is it, or something?
O'Hagan's Irish Bar, yep, in the viaduct in Auckland.
So that kind of qualifies a little bit of occupational therapy, doesn't it?
A little.
Yeah. I think it does for a lot of these guys. They say they're off to the gym or somewhere, but I know where they're going.
You know.
I just want to go back to your, I won't say your pedigree, but your mum was born in Corby in England, and your dad was born in Belfast in Ireland, but your mum was Irish. Is that right?
Yeah, my mummy's mummy is from Fanet in County Donegal, and her daddy was from Tyrone. But yeah, we have a house now in Donegal near Fanet, just so we're close to our roots in Donegal as well as in Belfast.
And your mum was a Rose of Tralee contestant herself, and a winner at some stage of
the Corby Rose, yep, in 1980.
1980? Ooh, that was a very good year.
Back in the day.
Right, now, I'm just going to ask you a few little questions here, just in relation to what your family are doing there. You say your dad is involved in GAA in Ireland. What's that mean?
The Gaelic Athletic Association.
Oh, of course.
He's involved in at Aldergrove, where we live in Crumlin, and in Belfast in the Ardoyne Kickham's GAA as well. He used to play when he was able.
Now, okay, you attended St Dominic's High School in Belfast for 7 years. That's a long time at a high school. Did you have a couple of repeats, or was that just how?
No, that's just the standard from year 11 to 18 in Ireland to go to school and to go to secondary school. And I did, for my A-levels, I did Irish, ICT and History.
Irish ITT?
ICT, computers.
Oh, okay. Yep. So they've got computers over there, haven't they? That's cool. Right, and you went to the University of Ulster and you graduated with a degree with a Bachelor of Science, is that right? With honours in occupational therapy.
Yep.
So that's what led you here. Did you do the occupational therapy stuff in Ireland prior to coming out here?
Yeah, I always knew that I wanted to come back to New Zealand because I feel it's where my roots are, and just trying to find a job here as well would just make me more settled and wanting to come back here because it's quite hard to find a job in Ireland
Okay, right, now I'm going to move now into your special interests. And you've got a lot of things here. You've got luging.
Luging, yeah. Has anybody been to Rotorua? You all know the luging. It's quite dangerous.
Well, that's about the only place you can really luge, isn't it? Yeah. So that's, you got a little bit of adrenaline rush. That's
yeah, it was brilliant. There was a big crowd of us went down for 2 nights. It's part of my Tuesday club that I told you about last night.
And water rafting.
White water rafting, yeah, we did that for the first time.
The big
Yeah, the one we did, I think it was a 7-metre drop. It's the biggest one in the world, is it, or just in New Zealand? I can't remember, but it was good.
It's the biggest in New Zealand anyway, so
Yeah.
we'll make that a world claim. Now, okay. Now, there's a little bit more to you than just being an occupational therapist. You're actually a flutist.
Yep.
Very good at it. Is that something that you do for competitions or just for pleasure or leisure?
No, not for competitions. I've played it since I started playing the classical flute when I was 11, and then moved on to the Irish traditional flute when I was 13. And I played with a band back in Belfast called Tralee, and we made an album and stuff, but now I just play it just in my spare time, just to keep up the tricks.
You don't like mushrooms?
No.
It's an unusual dislike to put down here, but I thought I'd better mention it to you. Now, part as being a little bit of an entertainer yourself, you've enjoyed the Spice Girls. And I just see where Bex has just retired, and so he's going to be able to spend more time with
Posh.
With her. Posh?
Yeah, I was Baby Spice back in the day.
Okay, and also the Wolf Tones.
Uh-huh.
Are they an Irish band or something? Or mine?
Yeah, we've all heard of the Wolf Tones.
Okay. And Christy Moore, and also your favourite comedians Lee Evans and Peter Kay.
Yeah, they're both English comedians. I've seen them both in Belfast, but we were meant to go to some of the comedians in the comedy festival in Auckland. It was being run for the past 2 weeks, but we didn't get round to it.
Now, your mum and dad might still be over in Ireland, but you've got Uncle Huey here, have you?
Yeah, I've got my great uncle Hughie. He's 93, so he couldn't come down here today. But a lot of his friends are here to support me.
Where are they? There we go. We'll let Uncle Huey know that they gave you a big clap, won't we?
Yeah, I'm living in his house in Mount Eden, which is very kind, because he lives in a residential home, so I'm house sitting.
93 and you got the house? Well, that's pretty good. Well done. No wonder you're over in New Zealand here. Okay, now you'd like to meet Denise Lestrange Corbett, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Have I said that right?
You did, yeah.
Okay. Why is it so special with her? I presume it's a her, is it? Denise?
Yeah. She is a Kiwi designer. She had quite a difficult childhood and upbringing, but you all know the fashion brand World. Yeah, she is the founder of that. She founded it in 1989, apparently with $400 with her husband at the time, and now it's an international worldwide brand, and they even have a store in Brian Thomas in Dublin. She is also the ambassador for the Mental Health Foundation and Breast Cancer Awareness, and she's very open about her mental health problems that she has, which I just admire her for, to bring that out into the public, because it's very hard to deal with.
Very good. Your personal goal is to become a successful client-centred OT.
Mm-hmm.
Just elaborate around that for me.
Occupational therapy is like the treatment and intervention of people who are going through disabilities or accidents, but I specifically like to specialise in mental health. So client-centredness is just seeing the client holistically and just purely about them and no outside views. So yeah, that's just what you would love to be as an occupational therapist.
Roisin, you've enjoyed the contest so far? They're looking after you down here?
We're doing an alright job.
Yeah,
it's been brilliant.
Prior to coming out here, was the Rosa Tralee something that you would have contemplated doing in Ireland prior to coming out here? Was it something that was sort of, you were always interested, or was it being out here that you actually perhaps put more, should we say, with your Irish culture, the fact that you are...
Yeah, we've always watched it. We've watched it every year at August time, and I don't think I would have entered it back in Belfast, but I feel here, now that it's like my second home or my first home at the minute, that yeah, I wouldn't have entered it back here, but I feel more that my roots are here now, that I can relate back to my Irish heritage as well. And that's why I'd love to, I'm so happy that I'm representing Auckland, because I was born there, yeah.
Now last night you did a little Irish traditional flute.
Mm-hmm.
Think that good?
Yeah, it went all right.
Alright.
I didn't stop.
Yeah. Well, Roisin, that's really good. I don't have any more questions. Have you got anything for me?
No.
No? Hey, well, that's good. Hey, Roisin, really good. It'd be lovely to be able to pack you up and send you over here in August, meet Mum and Dad over there, and represent us, because I'm sure you do it really well. Well done, everybody. Let's have a big round of applause for Roisin.